At L&M Fine Jewelry, we hand select our diamonds to give you the very best prices possible. Monty knows a great deal when he finds one. Find your great deal at L&M Fine Jewelry.
Your diamond destination.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Samuel Akem here, and I am back with another one. I appreciate you guys tapping in for yet another breakdown. Only got one more FCS game to cover this year. That will be the national championship, which one of these teams will be playing in. That team is Montana State. The Bobcats advance to another national championship, their first since 2021. Their fourth or fifth semifinal game that they've played in the last 5 seasons. I think it was their fourth. But they've been so successful since Britt Vegan got there. They were successful under Jeff Choate. He was kind of building it up, and then Vegan got there, and they have completely blown up. They played an amazing game yesterday against the South Dakota Coyotes or Yotes. Tommy Mellott was 8 for 17, 134 passing yards, 1 touchdown. He had 17 carries, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say this about this national championship game. I'm going to cover it a lot more in my Tuesday breakdown, but as I'm getting into this breakdown, Tommy Mellott's got to put the team on his back. I think they can beat North Dakota State without him having to do that, but I think one of their best chances to ensure that they get this W is Tommy Mellott's got to put the team on his back. I don't want to get too much into that right now because I have so many thoughts about that, but it was an amazing game to watch in Bozeman. Very proud of the Bobcats to be able to make it to the national championship. 2 years that a Big Sky team has made it to the national championship, playing against one of the better Dakota schools in South Dakota State and North Dakota State. Hoping that this year the Bobcats can get the job done and bring a Big Sky bring a national championship back to the Big Sky Conference. Obviously, that means that national championship will reside in Bozeman for an eternity, but for the betterment of the Big Sky Conference, I definitely think that one of these teams needs to get the job done, and that team is Montana State this year. It's been an amazing ride there, 15-0. We're going to be breaking down this game. Please make sure you hit the like. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please make sure you guys leave me a comment down below. Sorry about that. Please make sure you guys leave me a comment down below, and we will get straight into the breakdown. Appreciate you guys. Get straight into the breakdown. See you in a second. Okay. So the Bobcats took on the University of South Dakota Coyotes, and it was a very, very good game to watch. I know at the beginning it felt as though the Yotes might give the Bobcats a run for their money. I had mentioned that I thought this would be the best game of the FCS playoffs, and I was mistaken. This was not the best game of the FCS playoffs. There was actually better games that took place this weekend, that being South Dakota State and North Dakota State. But here you go. They kicked the first kick out of bounds, so they're going to start this drive on the 35-yard line. They're bringing Taco Dowler in motion. Taco Dowler had a really good game, 4 receptions, 94 yards, and a touchdown. That might be, I don't know if Dowler has had an 100-yard game yet this season. That might be his season high. He had 106 against Northern Colorado, but outside of that Northern Colorado game, this is his highest season total. So really good to see Taco Dowler still ball out. He had an opportunity for a touchdown later in the game, and him and Tommy were unable to connect on it, but they're just going to run the corner here. This is like a levels concept that a lot of teams are running now. So you send Taco Dowler on a short corner at about 10 yards. He's breaking at 10 yards, and then if I'm not mistaken, you're sending Ty McCullough on a deeper corner route, kind of like a levels concept, but that takes these two over top guys out of here. That leaves this underneath guy who's playing kind of like the curl to flats underneath. That just leaves him to cover all of that, and Taco Dowler and Tommy Mellott are able to connect. Good ball from Tommy Mellott, good catch from Taco Dowler. Really good start to the game for Montana State. Here you go. You got a 3rd and 2 for Montana State. Pre-snap motion with Ty McCullough. They're going to keep it with Tommy Mellott. Like I mentioned in the lead up to this breakdown, Tommy Mellott has been carrying the ball so much more later on in the season. I think that is calculated by the coaching staff of Montana State. They knew what they needed to do in order to get here, and they did it in order to get here. So I want you guys to look at the carries of Tommy Mellott. 9 to start the season against New Mexico, 7 against Utah, 5 against Maine, 2 against Mercer, 6 against Idaho State, 5 against Northern Colorado. We're starting to get later in the season. Idaho, he has 11 carries. His first time this season over 10 carries. Then he has 4 against Portland State, 6 against Eastern Washington for 125 yards, I will mention, 4 against Sac State, 3 against UC Davis, 10 against Montana for 50 yards, then 6 against UT Martin, 14 against Idaho in the playoffs, 17 against South Dakota in the playoffs in the semifinals. So you can tell that as they've gotten later in the season, as they've played tougher competition, one, throughout the season they understood that they needed to keep Tommy Mellott healthy, but also as they get later on in the season, they know what type of difference maker he is in the playoffs. Look at his playoff totals. Quarterfinals, 131 rushing yards on 14 carries. Semifinals, 70 carries, 125 rushing yards for a total of 3 touchdowns in those 2 games. Almost a little over 31 carries in 2 games. They know what they need to do. So here you go. Design quarterback run on 3rd and 2, and Tommy Mellott's going to scurry for the first down. I mean, when you talk about this guy's speed and quickness off the edge, it's you have to use his legs to be able to be victorious. You don't have to, because they have really good running backs and a really good offensive line. But if you want to separate yourself from a lot of these teams, I know that Tommy Mellott's legs are definitely a weapon. Play action pass here for Tommy Mellott. He's going to hit Taco Dowler over the top for the first touchdown of the game. And they are going to take the 7-0 lead. It's kind of hard to see the coverage down here, but it definitely seems like they sent Rohan Jones on a middle field holdover. Not even like a holdover, but he's trying to control some over top coverage to allow Taco Dowler to get over the top. I don't know if he's controlling a safety. I can't really see the coverage, so it's hard without an all-22 look. But Taco Dowler definitely wins on the post, and he's going to score a big-time touchdown. Good throw from Tommy Mellott, and they take the 7-0 lead. Really good job from the Bobcats to start this game. Amazing start to this game. Just an amazing start to this game. I think they're going to replay the post here. Yeah, so we'll get a look at the coverage here in a second. So let's look at... So it looks like you have a quarters distribution here. You see them drawing out the tight end, just like I talked about, to control that high safety 100%. So this is quarters. So a lot of times in quarters, a post is really good out of quarters, and this is really good game planning and scheming out of the offensive coordinator of Montana State. If you can find somebody to hold that one high safety, a lot of times in quarters, these corners are going to play over the top. They're going to bail out of there, and they're going to play outside leverage. So you notice this corner here is outside leverage of Taco Dowler. He doesn't do a really good job of getting vertical at the snap. He anticipates, I'm sure, having over the top help, or at least inside help with his high safety, but he's going to get controlled by Rohan Jones. Rohan Jones was an out, or a corner, and so basically this ends up being like a crossing concept, like a scissors concept, because you got one on a corner, the underneath guy on a corner, and the over top on a post. But that corner route is going to occupy the eyes and coverage responsibility of that safety. Therefore, he runs with Rohan Jones. Taco Dowler wins immediately on the post, and he gets over the top for the touchdown. Really good play from the Bobcats, and really good execution. Great job. Great freaking job from the Bobcats to get in the end zone right there. Really, really good job. Really good ball from Tommy Mellott. And when he's wide open like that, you got to hit it. 7-0 lead for Montana State. 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. You got a 2nd and 9. Aiden Bauman is now behind center, and South Dakota is going to start their first drive. Really risky pass here on 2nd and 9. You got McCade O'Reilly coming over in his zone responsibilities to kind of try to see if he can get on that underneath route. Looks like they're in a cover 3. You got a 1 high safety here, you got a 3rd corner here, and you got a 3rd corner here. Those are going to be your over top, and then you got 4 underneath. So a hook, curl to flat, and a curl to flat, and then 4 rushers. Aiden Bauman's going to drop back, get it quick to Carter Bell, who put an easy move on the nickel defender of Montana State, get the ball in his hands, and he turns upfield for a first down. Really good job. One thing I will mention about this South Dakota squad is they are hard to bring down at times. You know, Travis Tice, that guy is a unit, and he is not hard to bring down at all. Or he is hard to bring down every time he touches the ball. And they're gonna play action pass it to him right now and get the ball to Karan Adams. Now, I'll mention this later on in the game for those of you who are Montana State fans who were not at the game and watching on TV similar to me. They had Karan Adams wide open. I know what a difference maker he is. He's got a lot of speed. They're gonna hit him on the little quick hitch right here at the first down marker, and he's going to get a little more after the catch. But they had him open on an out and up later on in the game, and Aiden Bauman missed him. I know it hurts in that point in the game. They were, close to coming back, and, there was an opportunity there. They didn't hit it, and he was very upset, and, I don't know. Getting the ball to Travis Tice. They're at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, 9 minutes to go. Missed tackle right here on the outside by Rylan Ort. He's coming from a weird angle, but it's a little missed tackle. They're going to pull the guard around as a kick out, and then they're going to insert that fullback in there as a lead blocker. He's going to hook up with Neil Daly, and then Rylan Ort just a little far outside, not able to get there. Missed tackle from the safety right there, and Tice is off to the races. Get a block from his receiver, Martins, and get over the end zone. Good hustle from the Montana State defense, but really good run and really good blocking from the South Dakota offense and Travis Tice. Really good job. Here you go. You get a look at it. Watch the fullback. He's going to insert in there and link up with Mr. Daly. He gets that block on Daly. Missed tackle from Rylan Ort. Weird angle, like I mentioned, from the outside. Missed tackle, particularly from the safety. And then he's got really good lead blockers in Galbraith and Martins. Galbraith ends up falling down, not really getting anybody. But Martins gets a great touchdown block on the corner right here. And Travis Tice ends up in the end zone. Really good job right there. Really, really good job. 7-7 game. Early in the first quarter, midway through the first quarter, and Montana State's got the ball back on 3rd and 1. Another thing that separates this Montana State offense from a lot of offenses in the country. They are great on 3rd and short situations. They convert at a high rate, and they keep it in 3rd and short situations so that they are able to convert at a high rate. Gonna give it to Ty McCullough right here, and it's just played really well by the South Dakota defense. They're not fooled at all. They see the jet sweep, they get bodies towards it immediately, and they come up with the tackle for loss and come up with the turnover on downs. Their punter, Hall, I think he had a pretty solid game. Oh man, I forgot about this. So man, I've been mentioning this all season long. Whenever teams play Montana State, this is the #1 team in the nation. They have been wire to wire the best team in the nation. You have to be sound on all fronts when you play against this team, particularly on 4th and short situations, 4th and 3. All you got to do is make sure, come on. What are we talking about? I mean, you got to believe that they're going to try to draw you off sides. That is a huge penalty. They get the first down for Montana State when they could have gotten the ball back and potentially given the ball back to their offense to see what they could do offensively. Instead, you're giving the ball back to Tommy Mellott, and they're starting to drive off once again. But here they are with the 3rd and 12. Tommy Mellott's got the ball under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tommy Mellott's going to scramble here. You see South Dakota is only going to rush 4. They try to run a stunt down here. It's picked up pretty well by the offensive line, but Tommy Mellott is going to scramble and get very close to first down yardage. I don't think they gave it to him, but I think he was very, very close. They end up punting it away. South Dakota's got the ball back, 3rd and 9, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Aiden Bauman behind center. Drop back pass. Montana State is only going to rush 4 here. A little stunt up top, but they get the out route to the receiver, Javion Phelps, and it is broken up. Pass a little behind, a little late. If you're going to throw this, you really want to throw it now. He's hitting his break. You really want to get the ball out now. He's a second late. That allows the defensive back of Montana State to get back in good relationship with it, and he's waving his hands because it's a pass breakup. Here you go. South Dakota is going to punt the ball away now. Punt it back to Mr. Dowler, who runs up to get it miraculously and makes a pretty good return out of it. Really good job right there. Really impressive job right there. Here you go. You got Montana State with the ball back. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 9 for Montana State. They're going to hand it off. Actually, they're going to pull it on the RPO. And they have, looks like a receiver getting out on a wheel route. Looks like Taco Dowler, if I'm not mistaken, it is. And it's an amazing ball from Tommy Mellott. My goodness, on the run, rolling to his left. I don't know what the responsibility of this corner is, or this nickel defender or linebacker, whoever he is, but I got to believe the reason Montana State does this is it's like a triple option. We can run the inside zone. The inside zone will be a great play right here. Look at the push the offensive line is getting up front. I mean, amazing push up front. This is phenomenal. This is a good run play. Tommy Mellott decided against that. He's going to pull it out of the belly. Probably because he's reading this in. This in played down hard. So then I'm going to pull it. I got good numbers out here. I know I have the flat route, and I know I can run it as well, but I also know I have Taco Dowler. And the reason I was mentioning this nickel / linebacker is because he gets eyes in the backfield. Taco Dowler is going to move down the sidelines. You're scared of Tommy Mellott's legs, and that's why you have to have Tommy as a runner and a passer, because defenders fear his legs so much. They fear his legs. Taco Dowler slips down the sidelines and gets the catch. Looks like the linebacker eventually realized, the linebacker corner, this might be a corner, but it realized the defender eventually recognized it, but not before. You see he gets his eyes right before we lose him. He gets his eyes in the backfield briefly right there. He's looking like, oh shoot, this guy's going to run. And that split second allows Taco Dowler to get a step. Taco Dowler gets down sidelines. Amazing ball from Tommy Mellott. They're down inside the 5-yard line. Really, really good job from Montana State. Great execution. Great execution. Here you go. From the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. Minute 15 to go in the first quarter. 7-7 ball game. Play action pass again. Once again, a boot. Play action pass. Not a naked boot, but getting it off to the tight end. Ball's a little bit inside from Tommy Mellott, intended for Ryan Lonergan, and it's incomplete. Good hustle from the South Dakota defender. Not a great ball. Would have loved for him to, lead it a little bit more outside there, but it's okay. It's first and goal. Pass breakup for South Dakota defense, though.
In the Treasure State, University of Montana football is a way of life. Lithia Ford has long been a proud sponsor of Grizz football, and Lithia Ford of Missoula is thrilled to have several of the best Montana football seniors driving the best trucks in Montana. Aspen Sound is the premier car audio and accessory shop in Montana. Aspen Sound makes sure the boys are riding in style with tinted windows and state-of-the-art stereo systems. There's always a party in Montana. Whether you're going to a concert, a wedding, or a football game, the Montana Party Bus will get you there. Skyline Sports and ESPN MT cover the Big Sky with more depth than anyone. Check out SkylineSportsMT.com and tune in to Nuanez Now on 1029 ESPN Missoula every day. My Montana Roots and Wear Your Roots clothing is your go-to spot for the most unique and comfortable lifestyle clothing you'll find anywhere. And get your custom t-shirts to support your favorite player. From 5 local businesses who love Montana, best of luck to the Grizz as they pursue another Big Sky Conference championship.
Here you go, second and goal coming up. Adam Jones in the backfield. I think Scott Trey Humphrey, you guys know more than, Scott Trey Humphrey seems to be still banged up. Adam Jones has been getting the bulk of the carries. Not that he's been doing a bad job. He is a phenomenal running back. But it seemed to me that Scott Trey Humphrey was limping around a little bit yesterday, and that would concern me a little bit. But I don't think they need him to win the national championship. I think Adam Jones can do a fine job. I think whoever they have at running back can do a fine job, and I think Tommy Mellott can do a fine job. So that isn't a super concern for me. Adam Jones had 18 carries for 66 yards yesterday. Scott Trey Humphrey had 11 for 35 yards and a touchdown. Is what it is. Here you go. Zone read option. So you can hand it off or you can pull it. The DN gets 100% fooled. Oh my goodness. It's like he decided after Tommy Mellott had pulled the ball. It's like Tommy still has the ball. You should be able to see that. And he then goes and gets Adam Jones. My goodness. Touchdown, Montana State. Great pull read from Tommy Mellott. Great mesh read right there. And they take the 14-7 lead with a minute to go in the first quarter. Really good job. Here you go. You get a look at it again. Watch the mesh. That D end is the read. Mesh. Tommy Mellott's probably betting on himself because right here when he pulled it, that D end is still in good relationship to make that play, but he's looking to cut back this way. I think that D end was anticipating that Tommy was going to hand it to Adam Jones because he wanted to go cover Adam Jones, and he's completely wrong. Touchdown, Montana State. Really good job. Here you go. 14 minutes to go 1 minute to go in the first quarter. 14-7 lead for Montana State. South Dakota has a 1st and 10. Here you go. Play action pass. Looks like they're trying to get it deep down the field. They're running these crossing routes. They get it off to Tice instead on the check down. Looks like Montana State was playing covered, so you're going to get in this cover 3 once again. Watch the distribution. The play action gets the linebackers coming and playing downhill, but it's cover 3. So middle defender, third, and a third, 4 underneath. Hook, curl flat. These are in a hooks in the middle. So hooks are just, I'm hooked up right here. This is my zone. Hook, I've got this zone. Curl to flat is, I got this curl window, but I also have the flats if anything gets thrown there. Curl to flats. I got this curl window here, but I also got the flats if anything gets thrown here. 3 defenders deep, 4 rushers. Easy distribution. Cover 3, that's usually going to cover those crossers, whether it is the corners running with them or it is them switching responsibilities and each covering the other man. Whatever it is, you see those linebackers eventually get out of there, get into their deep under hooks, and with that, you get Tice into the flats. On the check down, he's going to get the first down and a little bit more. Here you go, 1st and 10, 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. 14-7 lead for Montana State. Looks like a cover 2 coverage. Looks like some type of cover 2. Might even be cover 6. Cover 2 down here. Quarters up here. Looks like quarters up here. Watch the distribution. Quarters up there. And then half field safety and a flat defender down here. Either way, they're playing coverage. Play action pass from from South Dakota. Pressure from Brody Grebe. They're going to get the ball off to Galbraith. Good route against Mikado Riley. And he gets the first down. Really good job. Really good ball from Aiden Bauman. Really good job of Galbraith as well. 1st and 10. Start of the second quarter. South Dakota is going to hand the ball off to Charles Pierce, who's going to gash it right up the middle and get into the end zone. Really good job. And this is what led you to believe that this might be a pretty interesting game. given the start that South Dakota had. They were answering the touchdowns of Montana State with touchdowns of their own. Looks like they're going to try to run a split zone, inside zone play here. So you got double tight ends. So you're in 12 personnel, a receiver on the field, 2 tight ends, and a running back given the 12 personnel. One tight end is going to go across the formation, and bam, the end man on the line of scrimmage. You get your guard up the field immediately to get on that second level backer. He's going to kick that backer out. Really good block right there. You got the safety who kind of chooses the wrong gap. You see the safety in corner. The corner is going to run with the sweep defender, so it must be man coverage on the back end. It must be man because you see this corner running with the receiver, Carter Bell, and then you see the safety trying to shift over and cover that responsibility following the running back. You see that? He shifts a little bit too far outside. The running back hits it up inside of him, and it's off to the races. Missed tackle right there. I believe that's Ort. And then the backside corner is not able to get there. Touchdown, South Dakota. Really good job. Blocked up amazingly for the touchdown. Here you go. You get a backside look at what the blocks look like. Look at those blocks. Really good job. This is really the key block to me. Get that block. Kick out on Makeda O'Reilly. Great linebacker. And it's off to the races for Charles Pierre. Really good job. Really good job. Down the sidelines. Touchdown. Great job. Here you go, 13-14 ball game for 14-14 ball game for South Dakota and Montana State. Under 15 to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 4 for Montana State on their own side of the field. I will say, up to this point in this game, we haven't seen a ton of runs. At least, and this highlight doesn't have every play on it, but it has a good majority of the plays on it. We haven't seen a run this far, but they're gonna do a boot run or a boot pass. And they get the ball off to Lanyata Alexander for the first down on 2nd and 4. Looks like he might have had Taco Dowler, but you see this defender in front of him trying to, corral that. And they're going to get it off on the outside read, probably the number 1 read on the fallout route to Lanyata Alexander on the rollout. 3rd and 1 for Montana State, under 13, under 12 and a half to go in the second quarter. Run play to Adam Jones, and he's going to get the first down. Really good job. Really good job. 3rd and 2, under 11 to go in the second quarter. Read option going to Tommy himself. He's going to get the first down. No matter what, keep those chains moving. That is what this Montana State offense is about, and that's what they did a lot in this game. A lot of times. 1st and 10, because 1st and 10, I'm not going to get into that. Under 10 and a half to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10. Tommy Malotte's going to hand it off to Adam Jones, who is going to make some guys miss, and this is the key, man. You got to make tackles. This isn't really a great tackle. He's getting blocked, but on the outside, you got to make that, man. You got to make that. You beat the receiver. You got to go make that tackle. Really good job of Taco Dowler missing this block. I'm going to miss you right there. He got past me, but I'm going to find work. Find work. Get on somebody. Allow for your running back to keep running. Adam Jones makes a good run out of it and gets about 12 to 13 on first down. Really, really good job. Really good job. 2nd and 7 in the red zone now. Inside the 15-yard line. Under 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Tie ball game. Play action pass and watch this. No, this wasn't it. But there's a play later on. I've talked about the deep crossers that Montana State has run all season, and it seemed as though they added a wrinkle to it, and maybe they've had it in all season, but I haven't noticed it. But here it looks like you might get a pass interference or a holding. I definitely thought this is holding or something. He's being very, very physical out there. They're going to get a flag. Tommy Malott. I don't love the hurdle from Tommy Malott, especially considering this is somebody that they want to keep healthy. They've tried to keep healthy all season. I know it's late in the season, semifinals, national championship, but, I don't love that, especially from your starting quarterback. I don't love that. But, he got down inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they're going to go holding. I don't know if they accepted it. They might have accepted it, but either way, you got 1st and goal now from the 1-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Scottre Humphrey, who gets in the end zone for the touchdown, making it a 21-14 ball game. Montana State with a little under 8.5 minutes to go in the half. Here you go. You're going to get to see the hurdle again. Would have been amazing if it worked, but he did have a hurdle later on in the game that turned into a touchdown. So, there you go. Scottre Humphrey touchdown. South Dakota's got the ball back. Under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. 21-14 lead for Montana State. 2nd and 4 coming up for South Dakota. Drop back pass for Aiden Bauman. They're going to get the screen off to J.J. Gralberth. Watch the setup. I'm blocking. I knew something was going on, though. Watch this receiver go down and pop this linebacker. That's what we call it. On the linebacker, it's called a pop. On a receiver, it's called a regular block. On a safety, it's called a crack, pop. So he's going to get the pop block on the linebacker, and they got linemen out front blocking as well, and it's going to end up being a pretty good play for South Dakota for the first down. Good job there. Here you go. 2nd and 6 coming up for Montana State. Inside zone. Read option play for Montana State, and they're going to get the ball off to Ty McCullough. Looks like he ran like an out right here. It looks like he's going to go out right here on a boot play. So it looks like a naked boot. Actually, they're blocking zone down this way, but it's a naked boot. You watch, like, he's trying to, Marcus Weir's going to go get him, but he realizes it's a pass, so he doesn't go too far down the field. He's like, wait. That other lineman wasn't as tapped in. Either way, though, it looks like they got the completion on 2nd and 6 for the first down. Ball was a little low, but it looks like Ty McCullough was able to get his arms underneath it for the first down. Here you go. 3rd and 6, 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Tommy Malot's behind center. Once again, another pass play. He's going to scramble around and end up getting the first down. I mean, you have to have a safety, nickel defender, a fast backer like McKade O'Reilly to spy Tommy Malott if you want to stop him, especially when they pass. Because one thing I have noticed about this Montana State team, and not that they aren't able to get open. I mean, the receivers have gotten open all season, but I think when teams play man or good coverage against them, the only reason they really get bit is because Tommy Malott ends up hurting them. There is a lot of times where you watch teams play against this Montana State team, and Tommy can't find anybody downfield, but either the spy defender is too slow, because it definitely looks like they got a spy, but he's just too slow. He doesn't have enough lateral quickness. I mean, Tommy, and maybe that's why Tommy Malott is juking back this way. You know, he's juking back this way to shake out the spy defender, and I'm going back out right. And I know my speed is way too fast for you, and I'm going to get the first down and get out of bounds on 3rd and 6. Really good job. Under 3 to go in the half. Really good job from Tommy Malott. 1:20 to go in the half. 2nd and 1 for Montana State. I think they ended up getting a field goal here, but they're going to shoot to get a touchdown. Once again, a play action pass. Here it is. So this is something. They usually run it a little tighter into the red zone, usually inside the 20, inside the 15. But Ty McCullough, I know for sure, has caught 2 of these. Taco Dowler caught one of them, was it last week against Idaho? It might have been against UT Martin. But Taco Dowler definitely caught one of them as well. But here you go. They're going to try to run the deep, make it look like they're running the deep cross. Something they run a lot this year. Right here, maybe right here, it looks like they're crossing. And you see South Dakota, they've probably watched some film. They've probably been watching film because they look like they're going to run towards it. They're trying to get over to it. But this is something they've scored a ton of touchdowns on this season. Max protection, only 2 receivers into the routes. They might have a check down getting out. Yeah, so they get Adam Jones out on the check down eventually. But what they're going to do is we've run these crossers across all season, and it's so funny because I talk about this all the time. I'm like, man, I can't believe teams haven't adjusted to this. They've run this multiple times this season, and it's worked. They've scored touchdowns on it. This week, they're going to try to bow them back outside. So you run the crosser. I'm running crosser. If they've been watching film, they should try to adjust to it and overplay the crosser. And then boom, I'm running a corner route. That's what Montana State was trying to do. Tommy Lott trying to hit him on the touchdown. It's covered pretty well by South Dakota. Maybe he had a throw, maybe underneath this way. If I throw you down towards the 5 or 10 yard line, I can get a completion there. But it's covered well by South Dakota, and it ended up being an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass right there. Tommy Lott also did have pressure in his face. He took this was a pretty damn big hit. He hit the ground hard, and it took him a second to get up. Look, he's laying down for a second, but he's back up. Tough Tommy. Just like touchdown Tommy. But that brings up a 3rd and 1. Minute 10 to go in the second quarter. Here we go. Pre-snap motion for Ryan King. Running just a quick spot route. You get Ty McCullough once again also on a quick spot route right here. Tommy Malott does not like either. He likes his legs better, and how can you blame him? He gets the first down and gets out of bounds to save time. 31 seconds to go in the half. 2nd and 10 for Montana State. Taco Dowler in motion, and he's just getting off to the flats. They're handing the ball off to Adam Jones on an inside zone run. Really good route. So it must be an RPO because Lonergan and Dowler are both running routes, running like a levels concept where they run a corner and a flat. Tommy Malott also would be rolling out here as well. But they hand it off to Adam Jones. Good blocks inside by the offensive line. Adam Jones gets the first down. They still have 2 timeouts. I believe they used one right there. 26 seconds on the clock. Now they have no timeouts. 15 seconds to go. 3rd and 8. Montana State is going to try to make one last throw towards the end zone. And they threw it outside to, I believe that's Lanyata Alexander on the quick out, trying to get a quick first down, easy first down, and get out of bounds. Incomplete pass, and that's going to bring out the field goal unit. Something that Montana State struggled with tremendously last year, I think has been, I don't know if I call it a strength, but they've been able to hit field goals this year. And I know last year that was something that really, really hurt them. So credit to the Brent Vegan staff and the team at Montana State to be able to, notice where they were weak at last year. One, we got to keep Tommy Malott healthy. I believe they ran him much less than they did in years past. I'd have to look at the official numbers, but they knew they had kicking struggles. They improved the kicking game this year. I mean, they weren't a bad team last year. They were just missing in certain places, and they shored up a lot of those things this season, and it's turned into a phenomenal season for the Bobcats. You're crazy if you don't appreciate good football when you see it.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
24-14 ball game, under 14 to go in the third quarter, 3rd and 3 for South Dakota. He's going to get some pressure, and I don't know if it was the pressure, but you get 3 by 1, tight end being the one on the backside, so really 1 by 3. But you're going to run Martins, I believe. No, that's Bell. Carter Bell is going to run a whip route right here, so you make it look like you're running mesh. A lot of teams run mesh here, and they still are running mesh actually. But one of your receivers is whipping back out, which he's wide open. I mean, you got to hit this. You have to hit this, especially in a game like this. You got, I think that's Brody Grebe. You mean breathing down your neck on your right tackle. Brody Grebe is eventually going to come in and get a sack later on in the game, but you got to hit this, man. This is easy pitch and catch. You got to hit this, and he misses it for the first down on 3rd and 3. Those are the plays that you have to make, especially in this moment of the game. You get the first drive of the second half. You start with the ball. You're only down by 10, but you have to capitalize when you get it put in position. Really credit in this second half. Credit to the Montana State defense. They made some mistakes in the first half, but they cleaned all of that up in the second half and only gave up 3 points in the second half. So really credit to the Montana State defense. They've gotten tested here and there throughout the season, but when they've played against good competition, they've showed up. They've showed up in a big way, and you're crazy if you don't think that this Montana State defense is worthy of some recognition. They've played a phenomenal season. Say what you want about strength of schedule, but when Montana State had to show up, they showed up. And they fought for that number 1 seed, which got them in an advantageous situation with all the matchups they had. Credit to them. That's why you play the games. That's why you perform. 2nd and 6, Tommy Malott is going to scramble. Not so sure so they're trying to run a drive concept here. Drive concept being an under from your number 3 receiver or number 2 receiver. They switch release. Your number 2 receiver, Taco Dell, is going to run an under. The number 3, who ends up being your number 2, Ryan Lonergan's going to run an in route. It's covered well. I think Tommy Malott foresaw that. I really think he was working towards Lanyata Alexander. He's working the right side. If you look at his eyes, he's working the right side. Doesn't like it. Great decision to run immediately as he doesn't like it. Once again, they have a spy on him. I don't know if it was a designated spy, but they have somebody who's playing over the top of the quarterback in the formation, and I mean, he was working the other direction to cover Taco Dowler. Eventually, he's going to run, and, Tommy Malott's just faster than everybody else on the field, unfortunately for the defenders. 3rd and 1 coming up, 10:43 to go in the third quarter, 24-14 lead for Montana State. They're across midfield now. This is the play of the game. This is the play of the game, man. Play of the game. Play of the freaking game. Tommy Malott here is going to drop the snap. He's going to drop the snap. Dropped it. Doesn't matter. Still good blocks upfield. Everybody is doing work. It looks like it was going to be like a design quarterback, or it was probably a good job of Scott Humphrey noticing. He's like, I ain't getting that. Let me just go find work. He got work, but really good blocks. Looks like it was going to be an inside zone run to Scott Humphrey. He was probably going to hit it back where Tommy Malott. It probably wouldn't have been as successful as if Tommy Malott kept it, because imagine him handing this off. He's going to hand it off. Watch all these blocks. They're doing a good job of washing everybody down. There is some penetration there, but Scott Humphrey would have probably had to hit it back on the backside of this tight end right here, and he probably would have got the first down, but it probably wouldn't have been a however long 40-yard touchdown run this was. Great hurdle. I told you he would have another hurdle. Great hurdle. Stumble, good center of gravity, and then let the speed take over, touchdown. play of the game, probably one of the best plays we've seen this playoffs. I mean, he completely hurdled a guy, cleared him for the touchdown. Great job right there. 31-14 ball game for Montana State. And that was going to be their last score of the game, but also their defense is going to bow up. I mean, if you look at where the score is right now at this point in the game, look at it right now. 17-point game with almost 2 full quarters, a full quarter and a third, 2/3 of another quarter still to go. I mean, a lot of people would think, man, South Dakota has a great opportunity to still win this game, but credit to the Montana State defense. They stood up tall all second half and allowed for nothing to be had from that South Dakota offense. Good run right there from Tice. Once again, inserting that fullback in there as a lead blocker. You see they're pulling their left guard around as well as a kick out, insert the fullback in there. Blocked up really well. I mean, shoot, if the fullback had been working a little faster, Tice could have, I mean, you see Tice, he's shoving the fullback forward. Like, go, get a block. Little end up being a cut block, but really good run from Tice for the first down. 1st and 10 for South Dakota, under 8.5 to go in the third. Play action pass, getting the ball off to Carter Bell, who's going to get the first down. Really good job. 3rd and 10, blitz, all out blitz, ends up being 0 coverage. Man, they have an uncovered receiver. Oh, but it's a run play. Very great timely blitz from Montana State. Had this been a pass, Galbraith is up the middle for a freaking touchdown. Had this been a pass, but woulda, coulda, shoulda is all you can do here because it's going to end up being a tackle for loss or a tackle for no gain on 3rd and 10 for South Dakota. Don't know why they decided to run it on 3rd and 10. I don't know if they saw I mean, even as Bauman, you know, as the quarterback, you see these guys creeping up. You have not snapped the ball yet. You see these guys creeping up. You see him creeping up too. You notice that, you get yourself in a different play. Especially when you notice that you guys are running an outside zone run play on 3rd and 10. I mean, I know you guys have had decent success in the run game. They finished the game with 24 carries, 135 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tice had 110. Pierre had 57. Everybody else had negatives or 1 yard. But, I mean, you got to notice this as the quarterback and say, oh, look, they're bringing a blitz. I need to audible out of this. Or at least stay in this play, have some communication with your tight end and say, hey, yeah. And I don't know, but obviously it's easier said than done. Montana State gets the tackle for loss, tackle for no gain on 3rd and 10. Brings up a 4th down for South Dakota. They punt it away. They give the ball back to Montana State. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 8. Tommy Malot's going to get sacked, almost get sacked, but the ball does not make it back to the line of scrimmage, and I believe he was still in the tackle box or right outside of it. They're going to give him the intentional ground. Well, it's intentional grounding because he's out of the tackle box, but it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Intentional grounding. Ball at the spot on 3rd and 8, 4th and 8. Ends up being 4th and 23. They're going to punt it away, and Brandon Hall is going to absolutely, that wasn't the one he booted, but recovered at the 48-yard line by Carter Bell. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Now you got 3.5 to go in the 3rd. 3rd and 24 for South Dakota. Can't get out of their own way. Kenneth Iden drawn down on them. They get the ball off to Travis Tice, who is not going down for anything. They ruled this a fumble initially on the field. They didn't blow the whistle, but I mean, this run by Travis Tice, I mean, come on, dude. Excuse me. I mean, you got to bring more than that. Excuse me. I'm still up. They ruled it a fumble, but if you notice when he picked up the fumble, your knees down, brother. Your knees down. Come on, dog. I mean, I know you had to try it and you ran to the end zone and they, but come on, dog. They ended up ruling it not a fumble. He was down by contact, but they're going to let him run it all the way to the end zone. I respect it. Little cutback. Touchdown. I respect it. But he was ruled down. See it? Watch right there. Elbow down. That causes the fumble. Ground cannot cause a fumble. And yeah, overturned, elbow down, and he was also down right there. That's what I was looking at. I was like, okay, say it's a fumble, but like he's down right here. His knee is down, and he recovered the ball. I'm down right there, boys. This ain't the NFL. Either way, call reversed. It was not a fumble. South Dakota maintained possession. They end up going to kick a field goal on 4th and 14. They kick a field goal, and it is good. Right down the middle. Make it a 31-17 ball game. There will be no more points to be had in this game, unfortunately. 3rd and 8 for Montana State. Tommy Malott, empty coverage. They got 4-by-1 set. Tommy Malott being the single, or not I don't even know. I think that's Lonergan being the single receiver. They got 4 running back and 3 receivers down out here. And they're going to try to throw it and just not on the same page. I thought this might have been intentional grounding as well because there wasn't. I mean, Taco Della's right there, but there's not a lot of people over on this side. But, it is what it is. He's going to throw it out of bounds. Not on the same page as the receiver. And ends up being a 4th down. They punt it back to South Dakota. South Dakota's got the ball. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 4. Pitch back to Charles Pierce, who's getting downhill and getting the first down. One thing that really helped this South Dakota team out this year is their ability to be able to run the ball. I mean, they weren't able to take advantage so much against Montana State and overpowering them in the run because Montana State has a really good defense, a really good defensive line, and they do a lot of things good. But, that is one of the things that carried them as far as they got was their success on the ground. Once again, they're going to run that kick out with the guard who misses his block, but the fullback cleans it up for him. They're going to get the first down with Tice running hard. I mean, look at young Grebe trying to make this tackle. Filling the hole, doing a really good job, head on the outside, great form. That's Travis Tice, baby. Making another guy miss. Kenneth Eiden comes to clean it up, and a lot of the Montana State defenders help him clean it up. Really good run from Tice, though. Under 14 to go in the fourth quarter, 1st and 10. Drop back pass, play action pass, it looks like, for Aiden Bauman. And he's going to get the ball out to Galbraith, who makes the miraculous catch. Really good job right here. Back shoulder throw from Aiden Bauman. Good ball, good catch, foot down. That is a catch over the top of, once again, Mr. Grebe having a tough game, but they won. Having a tough drive, not having a tough game, having a tough drive. Got ran over, got caught over. That's a really good tight end, though. 1st and 10 for South Dakota. Under 12 to go in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 1 coming up. 31-17 ball game, pre-snap motion. Handing it off to Tice, who's getting downhill and down around... Is that the 10-yard line? Down around the 10-yard line. Looks like they got some penalties. I'm trying to remember. They dropped the snap, and this is what I'm talking about with South Dakota, man. I completely forgot about this. There was multiple times they got in the red zone with a chance to make the game close, and they fumbled it around, man. They fumbled it around. This one particularly, they got the first down in the red zone, down right outside the 10-yard line. That's why the first down is originally on the that's why the original line of scrimmage was on the 11-yard line. They fumbled the snap, and then I think they got a false start. It might have just been the fumble snap, but they just so unserious football at this time in the game, at this point in this situation. I mean, just no attention to detail, and it just hurt them. Montana State's only going to rush forward. They're going to play coverage with everybody else on a 3rd and 17. Keep everything in front of you like they did right there with Tice, and he slips. But, I mean, they were coming up to make the tackle anyway. They were going to leave the gain to minimal and allow their coverage to dictate things, and it worked out. Here you go, 4th and 13. South Dakota has no choice but to go for it under 9 minutes. As good as Montana State's defense has been playing, we don't know if we're going to get back down here, as well as their offense. We don't know if we're going to get back down here. It's close, man. It's close. You really got to run this route a little bit deeper, though. So they're going to run 2 vertical routes by their 2 outside receivers, Carter Bell and Karan Adams. They're going to run 2 deep routes to take the overtop coverage out of there, and then JJ Galbraith is going to run the deep out at about 15 yards. You really got to maximize this, though. You want to run it past the line of gain. You really need to run it past the line of gain. You really need to run this past the line to gain. So take it an extra yard. I know you're thinking about the time that your quarterback has. They're blitzing, they're rushing 5. So your quarterback, I mean, you have enough to protect. So your quarterback should have time. He ends up getting pressure from the outside. The 2 DNs are going to get pressure on him. And then Galbraith runs the route a little short. They get the ball completed, but he's a little short, and he tries to keep the ball in bounds and reach for the first down, but it's a good tackle from number 7 of Montana State, and he's going to be short of the line to gain. Really good job, and it's a game of inches, man. You got to maximize your route from the jump, so don't need to reach it. Run the route deep enough so that you're already at the first down yardage. And that was really the end to what could have been a comeback for South Dakota. And, I mean, it is what it is, man. They're going to hand it off to Adam Jones. He gets the first down. They're going to be able to eat more clock. South Dakota's got the ball back eventually with under 5 minutes to go. Drop back pass for Bauman. He's getting it off to Tice, who is running angry. Tice had a really good game. He had 80 receiving yards and 110 rushing yards for a total of 190 yards in this game. I mean, Tice, if anybody showed up for this playoff game, not that their team didn't. They had some really good players. Their offensive line showed up. Their defense did what they could against the best offense in the country. But Tice really balled out. Once again, he's going to get the ball in his hands, making guys miss. I mean, look at this. Look at this, man. Absolutely balling out. Absolutely balling out. I think they should have leaned on him a little more, honestly. And right here, man. And this is why home field advantage matters. And it's so funny watching these college football playoff people talk about, oh man, like these teams all got blown out. Yeah, because they're playing at home in front of 90,000, 100,000 rabid home fans. It's loud. It's hard for any team to come in on the road and win a game, especially in Ohio State, Penn State, particularly in a stadium like Montana State or Bobcat Stadium. It's loud. Your center can't hear anything. Look, he knew he messed up. Immediately snapped it. And this is what happens when you play road playoff games. That's why all the playoff games outside of the national championship need to be played at the home site, because the higher seeded team has earned that right. College football playoff will eventually get it right, but Montana State's crowd definitely played a part into how this game ended up, and definitely that snap right there. So now you got a 4th and 10. Drop back pass for Aiden Bauman. He's just gonna fall back and get off to his receiver, and it's broken up by the defender of Montana State. Really good play right there. Really good play right there. Good pass breakup, and that is going to effectively end the game. He was doing this mime celebration. He was like, I don't know. Here you go. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Tommy Malotte's going to keep it. I was a little questionable about this one at this point. I'm like, man, I know you guys are trying to end the game, but like, don't give it to Tommy. You know he's going to lower that shoulder. He did on 4th down. And they punt it back to South Dakota. Really good punt, though. I mean, phenomenal punt. I think this was like a 59-yard punt or something like that. It was a really good punt. And really good coverage from the coverage team. Zach Cruz in there on the tackle. Here you go. 1st and 10. Drop back for Aiden Bauman. Getting the ball off to Galbraith. They try to run the hook and ladder, man. A really good play from Galbraith to make the reception. This is really good coverage from McKade O'Reilly. Good ball from Aiden Bauman. Stand in the pocket, get it off. But you got to complete the... It was going to be a big hit nonetheless. I mean, Riley Nort sees it. The cornerback out here sees it. He was going to get messed up. But, I mean, for Brody Grebe to come up with the fumble recovery to end the game is just poetic justice right there. Tough end to a season for South Dakota. The ride for Montana State continues. They will take on the North Dakota State Bison in the national championship. And that is going to do it for the semifinal matchup against Montana State and South Dakota. Montana State gets the victory 31-7. They move to 15-0. South Dakota finishes their season 11-3. They did win a share of the Missouri Valley Football Conference title, so that's something that they can hang their hat on. But Montana State is going to play for another national championship, and I think they have a really, really good chance of winning it. Before getting into too much, please go watch my Tuesday video. I'm going to break all of my thoughts down about this matchup of Montana State and North Dakota State, but I think Montana State got the best possible draw that they could get. One thing you have to do to beat this Montana State team is stop the run. South Dakota State is better at that than North Dakota State. So I think from that standpoint, they have a better chance. I think in general, although we saw North Dakota State beat South Dakota State, I think the South Dakota State defense collectively is better than the North Dakota State defense. That's for a multitude of reasons. You guys can hear my reasons why on my breakdown. But congratulations to the Montana State Bobcats. They're going to the national championship with a very, very good chance of leaving it with a national championship under their belt. Their first since 1984. So Montana State will be playing in the national championship. It's going to be an amazing game, a rematch of the 2021 national championship game, and I am more than excited to watch it. I appreciate you guys tapping in. Please make sure you guys go check out my Tuesday video, me previewing the national championship. I may cover a couple other things in regards to college football as well. There's a lot going on in college football right now. The transfer portal is on fire, and there's a lot of things going on. So we'll cover it all in this week's video. I appreciate you guys tapping into the breakdown. Make sure you guys hit a like. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe. Make sure you guys leave me a comment down below, and I will catch you guys next time. See you later.